As you think about the Bible reading, going back to Acts chapter 2, one thing that is interesting to me is the details that the Holy Spirit gives. In particular, I'm referring to the amount of individuals who were saved. If you remember in Acts chapter 2, about 3,000 souls were saved. Now in Acts chapter 4 and verse number 4, it says, "But many of those who had heard the message believed, and the number of the men came to be about 5,000. So from 3,000 to about 5,000, we see this explosive growth taking place. Can you imagine witnessing all of the baptisms that were taking place during that time? It had to be an amazing event to see. And while we're not after numbers, I do think numbers are important. While we all should be growing spiritually as individuals and as a congregation, when that happens, there should be a natural response or a natural result with respect to evangelism. That these Christians, they were growing, they were continuing to abide steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. And as a result of that, they were sharing the good news. The apostles were going out and teaching about Jesus. And what we find is that more souls were being saved. So it's just something interesting to look at. When we get to Acts chapter 5, verse number 14, it will say, "And all the more believers in the Lord, multitudes of men and women were constantly added to their number." So think about that. 3,000, 5,000, constantly being added to the number of the saints. So this idea of growth is something we should be thinking about. While we don't chase numbers, we want to convert people to Jesus Christ. But that should be a natural response as we grow in our faith and our walk with the Lord, and as we continue to share the good news with others. Just a thought. Take care, and God bless.